Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to go over some trades that I took. I also want to dig a little deep into understanding structure. So the last time we spoke, we were like in this area and I had an alert set on this resistance level. So the alert was like right here. Okay. And I posted on Instagram. I made like a video. I talked about how the alert that I had didn't get triggered and I missed the trade and price pushed up to the next zone, which was up here. So the trade played out. So this was the structure. Okay. The trade played out and I was saying I'm gonna wait for price to push above or below to know where I'm going next. So we ended up getting a break below. This is the break right here. This candle is breaking my higher low points. Okay. So this is a higher low point. I'm going to hide this gray zone for a second. This is support, then price is breaking support and then coming back and testing it as resistance. So you guys understand that support and resistance can switch. So you can have a support level that can break and turn into resistance. So this is what happened here. We had a support level that broke and turned into resistance. Now I had a fib on this structure. So this is the fib that I had on this structure. And this fib allowed me to know when to get out of my trade. Now, we did fall a little bit deeper. We came close to this trend line. This black trend line that I have here at the bottom, it's a little wonky. Like you have price kind of dropping below it and then coming above it and, pushing below it. But it's a valid trend line. I feel like most parts were touching this trend line. So that's why I like it. It's a really, really good trend line to keep track of your higher low points so that you understand, like when to get in, when to get out, so on and so forth. All right. So fast forward to up here, we had divergence forming. All right. So divergence is when the RSI indicator is going in one direction and the charts are going in a different direction. So what does that mean? That means that you want to follow what the RSI is showing you. So if the RSI is saying, I have lower lows and lower highs, but your chart is showing you higher highs and higher lows, you want to look for selling opportunity. Now, you don't press sell when you see the divergence. You wait for price to break and retest out of the divergence in order for you to sell. However, when price is diverging, it can diverge higher and higher before you get the sell. So I knew that I was in a diverging structure and I knew that I was not done diverging. So I was looking for a buying opportunity. And I know that's kind of confusing because you're like, okay, you can definitely trade the diverging structure. You just need to understand that you're in a diverging structure. So that means I understand that I'm going to sell eventually. That means that I don't want to buy too high or hold too long because at some point I'm going to drop. Okay. So here we had I'm going to hide the fib just for a second because it looks crazy. We had a break and a retest right here. Okay. We had a break of a resistance level, right? So I talked about support and resistance and how it could switch. We had a break of a resistance level and price came back and tested it as support. This gave me another higher low point for entry. So this is resistance, okay, breaking resistance, coming back and testing it as support. This is your entry opportunity and this is your higher low, okay? I took it to the TP level and I trailed my stop loss. I was trying to trail it to the 61.8, but it dropped before pushing up to the 61.8. So I ended up getting stopped out. But I was stopped out, like I got stopped out, but I was in profit. Trailing your stop loss is when you're securing your profits and you're holding it to the next target area. We did not trade here. I was monitoring this with students in our chat. It was Good Friday. So that was somewhere over here, okay, in this area. So I was talking to students and I was saying that NFP data was coming out, right? Now, if you understand the economic indicators, then you understand that that doesn't really change the overall direction of price. Those are just like minor moves that you could take advantage of, especially those of you who are like scalpers. You could take advantage of those moves. So when we understand like the base and the quote, and we understand like gold up against the US dollar, we know that we'll look for a selling opportunity. Okay, so we got a sell right here. So this was support. Then we had a break when the market opened, and then we had a push up testing as resistance, giving us a lower high, and then we had a sell, right? Again, I didn't take this, but this is just me showing you guys structure. I didn't take any of this. None of this was traded. I took a sell up here. We had the push up here, and then we had another test of support, a break, and a retest, giving us another lower high to take a sell. So I'm going to hide the fib for 1 second. Okay. So this was the sell that I took. Right. So we have, let me have this in the back. All right. So we have the same thing, support, support, broken, right? Come back and test it as resistance, giving you a lower high entry, take it down to your TP. Now, when I'm trading, most of the time, I'm not actively on the charts to monitor the trade. So I'll just set the targets and just go on about my business. Price pull back again, giving us like a break of structure to continue falling. So we fell deeper down to this trend line. This was the same trend line that we just talked about. So when we was over here talking about this trend line, we were over here, we dropped to this trend line again. All right. So what I would give to you guys is this. I would say wait for price to break a lower high to look for another buying opportunity. So if price breaks this lower high right here, like this area right here, if this pushes up past this area, look for price to come back and test it as support. And that's your higher low to continue buying. This right here is still like uptrend. All right. A break of a higher low, which would be like this. Break, pull back, entry, sell. All right. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. So just to be very clear, like when you're breaking a lower high, so this is a lower high. When you're breaking a lower high, price is going to come back into the area that it broke to give you a higher low to buy higher. When you break a lower high, this is a lower high, price will come back into the area to give you a higher low to go higher, vice versa. When you break a higher low, price will come back to give you a lower high to go down to a sell. It's really that simple. All right. Hopefully this video was super helpful. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.